All right, we'll do that one. Ready?
I'm ready.
Good morning. Good morning. Gee, it's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you and you and you.
Oh, I forgot that part.
We didn't have a song, so we're just singing.
We're singing.
And it's because we're together. There's my shot, so I'm singing.
Yes, you're good. And I can't get the thing to play, so we're not going to play it. It's okay.
We're not going to play it?
No, because I don't think I'll try.
Right,
Hang on. I'll try one more time. No, it doesn't want to play. So you just get us. We don't get our cool intro. That's okay.
It's because we were up north. Because
I think I muted instead of played the thing, but that's okay.
Okay,
I'm
yes.
unmuted now.
So
a little bit of tech issues with the cottage and new setups and everything. Like when I'm at home, got all my stuff. I'm good.
And
anyway.
here we're just a mess. You can shut that down now.
I don't know.
So this is what happens when you're in a rural community. And this is why I ordered Elon Musk's Starlink. Because when it comes, we will have fabulous satellite internet and not like the crappy one we have now.
Well, it's difficult when, you go into your streaming software and they're like, no, I'm sorry. No.
Exactly.
So we're getting some people saying good morning and nothing like the rusticness of the cottage. Yes, all of that.
Yeah. So as we said, we closed the farm today. We're going to set up, we're going to start. It's going to be obviously a good month before we start coming from there. But so we have a lot of painting and stuff.
And somebody's saying good call on getting the Starlink.
Yeah.
Internet's a little shady, so we weren't even sure literally like 2 minutes ago whether we'd be able to go live.
And it's a beautiful day, and it's so there's no real reason for us not to be able to have good service, but that's what happens when you are relying on cell towers, basically, right? So
I've got hot spotted. We have things.
We have Bell, Rogers, and Telus, 3 different providers going, and none of them are really working very well.
So that's the irony. I wish I could put them together.
Yeah.
But I think they're all the same towers. It's just different companies pulling from them. So it is what it is. We're on. We have confirmation that it's starting, and we're getting a message. Congrats on the farm. A beautiful day.
Yeah.
So excited. So we're going to literally, you are going to get the keys today, open the door, and we're going to start taking some pictures before we even touch it.
Yeah.
Because it is going to be an incredible, she was going through pictures last night and showing me the different rooms and stuff. And although I had seen it months ago, I had forgotten a lot of it. And it's just, I'm so excited to show you guys because it's so interesting.
Interesting.
Like, that's the only word. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Like just little things that are there that taking down, but we want to show you before you take it down.
Yeah. And it's going to be fun. There's 70 acres of forest. So we're going to do some cool stuff in there and maybe do some retreats and that. So, and we'll have you guys along. So it's kind of cool.
It's going to be really fun. Yeah. So again, apologies for the way it started this morning, but it is what it is. But it actually is a perfect segue into what I was going to talk about this morning, which is basically internet regret.
Oh, that's a good topic. See, we don't rehearse this, so okay.
So I could very easily have regret because things didn't start the way that we wanted them to.
Right.
And I could very easily go, you know what? Sorry, guys, not working. Click and delete off of the different places that we're streaming this to, and we'd be done.
Right.
And I would be happy because nobody would ever know that it wasn't perfect.
Right. We don't do that. We're not usually perfect.
So Camille says he's count me in on the retreat.
Hey, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I think the challenge is that people will post things on social media. They'll post things on maybe a podcast. They'll post things on numerous amount of places. and then they immediately have internet regret, which basically means it's out there in internet land.
Yep.
I'm going to hit her. I'm not used to someone being so close. I feel like I'm like going to move my hands and punch her out or something. But you immediately have regret. So I remember years and years and years ago when I actually did a small part in my business where I did social media management, and the person would send me the information. They would send me the image. I would post it on their behalf. And as soon as it went live, boom, regret, because somehow sending it to one person isn't as scary as them seeing it online or on the internet where it's kind of visible to everybody. So I think it can be very, I don't know, maybe a little bit intimidating. I guess I've never had internet regret, but I understand how you can see something out there and go, but the world can see it.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we going to do? We need to take it down. But that's actually not, it's not helpful, because I think, there's a line between, we've had this sort of conversation before around authenticity and being real, and how much are you sharing and what does that look like? Sorry, I'm just reading comments and talking at the same time. Apparently I can't multitask, but it's the fear has kept me from speaking on platforms as openly as I aim to. And that's the challenge, especially, and this is where it's so interesting with things like live, right? Because a lot of the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, like all of those different, Twitter, you can do audio, you can do video, you can go live on pretty much every social media platform out there. And it's an interesting jump to go from a video or an audio file. So even a podcast, those are again, that's internet regret, right? You kind of put it out there, you've re-listened or you've re-looked at, and you go, ooh, what was I thinking in the moment that I said, yes, go ahead. Now, all of a sudden it's, no, you need to take that down. I don't like it. It's not a good thing. Well, I
guess the interesting thing, I guess this is our whole topic today. The interesting thing is now that we're in cancel culture, right? So, so the issue now is not so much, you used to think, oh, maybe it's not great or whatever, but now people are worried that they're going to get canceled, right? By saying the wrong thing. So if you say one thing that somebody interprets as perhaps not very cool, you might get canceled and get labeled as whatever, and people will stop listening to you. And I think that's the biggest issues. You see how, guys, if you watched The Talk, you saw how Sharon Osbourne and whoever the other host was got into this kerfuffle, and then she literally got canceled, right? Everyone hated her. And sometimes and I don't know her. I don't think she personally meant to be, perceived as negative and stuff, but it happened in the moment and immediately was canceled. And that's the thing about cancel culture. You can do it in an instance. And I think so people now are so terrified of saying the wrong thing and, and how are they going to be perceived? And so, it's more than just, oh, am I like smart enough or witty enough or, now it's like, oh, will people not like me and want to say that,
And it's worse than it was before. So we've kind of grown from, your typical social media post where it was, maybe an image, or even before that where it was text-based. It's like I post something, I remember like way back when Facebook first sort of started, that's, how long we've been doing this. And you would literally put a post out and it was like the fear of clicking post. So then I moved into a lot of training. I have literally with adults, hand over hand on a mouse and going, it's okay. Click. And I literally take their finger and I push it down to click. And they're like, oh, it's live. It's on the internet. And then they look at it. And unfortunately, what sometimes it ends up happening is when I've left, they've taken it down. Because they have internet regret. So
and
it's interesting.
I think you have to, it really comes down to, at the end of the day, all of this is just about your confidence level and your mindset about what you believe in and what you are comfortable with. And so for me, if somebody is saying, take something down, or I don't like that, it's more than just, I don't happen to like that episode. It's more of, where's the confidence level? Because if people like you, if you've misstepped, they're going to still watch. We misstep all the time. all the time. And, we always have things going on, and it doesn't matter, because I think the majority of people out there want to see the reality. And here's a thing that I think sums it up for most people. Our kids only know reality.
True.
Right? So they only know, they've grown up where anything they want is online. Everyone's, showing their true self, what they're like, not because it's a thing. It's because that's normal. That's their era. That's how they've been brought up. So there's something a little freeing now. Sometimes it goes to the extreme, but they don't know any different. So why are we hanging on to like, oh, I'm not perfect? Like even actors and actresses now, before in the golden era, they were like superstars, right? And you saw them on movies, and then they were fabulous when you saw them like very rarely.
Very rarely. Yeah, exactly.
But now they're like in their sweats going to Starbucks,
and
right?
There's a picture and it's on the internet, like before they even get to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Because they're just on their way. And by the time they get there, it's already posted and gone viral and 1 million views.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how fast things can happen.
So if you've said something like maybe years ago, you said something and you don't believe that now, then rather than take it down, just own it and say, I've changed, right? It's kind of like we talked about this a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago on Khloe Kardashian.
Yeah.
When like she's always owned the fact that she uses filters on her Instagram, because she said it in an interview, that that's what people want. They want to see her in filters, which is fine. I have no issue with it. But when they snapped a picture of her without a filter, she freaked out and tried to scrub the internet of it. And to me, like that was way worse. Like just own the fact that, it was great when she said, hey, they, I'm good. I'm use filters and they want it. So own it.
Yeah.
So if you have a picture of you without it, own that too. Right? Like you guys see us. I use filters on Instagram. I like filters. I like sparkly filters is what I like.
Yeah, but I like the fact that you're like, and this is what filter I'm using. You're owning it. It's all good.
I like this
because
I like sparkles and stuff. But you guys are seeing us live right now. No filters.
Nope.
This is what we look like, like it or not. And
a little bit more coffee. I'll be a little bit more peppy, but that's okay.
But there's something more freeing. And, I don't want to have internet regret. I don't.
No. And just a few comments, where's our compassion for one another from the perspective of cancel culture? It's reflective of our own inner critic.
Absolutely.
When can we accept our own flaws and learn to grow from them sincerely?
We've obviously accepted our flaws.
We have. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And you're right. Just embrace everything. So again, we could have done 2 things this morning. Okay, so a few things went hiccupy this morning. Number 1, if they didn't have a song, so we're like, all right, let's sing. Sorry. Apologize in advance for that. Number 2, before that, our internet was a little sketchy, so we weren't even sure if we'd be able to do it. So we're like, okay, well, what can we do in lieu of? Maybe we would pre-record or whatever and upload. So we kind of had a plan B. Yeah. And then, of course, then the intro didn't work. This didn't work. We were muted at one point. Am I going to take this down? No.
Hell no.
So I almost feel like we're like when you grow, and I don't know whether I forget because I talk to her so much. I don't know what we talk about on Hot Topics and what we don't. Yeah. Is if you don't have not regret, that's a wrong word. If you're not embarrassed by the first social media posts and videos that you put out and that kind of stuff, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Because you do grow. Like I remember when I first started posting on social media, I remember doing this image and I was so excited. I was able to figure out how to put my logo on the bottom right-hand corner. And I look back, I'm like, oh my God, that was like the ugliest thing I could ever think of. Yeah. It's still out there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Because at that time in my business 10 years ago, I thought that was cool.
And I remember how nervous I was to post anything, right? And it was, you were like sitting there hovering with your finger, like, oh, I don't want to push that button. Like everyone's going to see it, right? Yeah. And that's what a lot of people are worried still about.
But I think that's the whole concept of, again, going from, we've gone through our text and images, then we're supposed to put ourselves on images. So now I need to look good for photos and put yourself out there. Then we've moved into video where it's like, oh my God, I have to put myself on video. And then, but that's pre-recorded. So I can take 182 takes and nobody will know because they'll see the one that I'm actually happy with before I put that out there. Even there's still, you put it out there, there's still internet regret. And then there's live. So with live, you're live.
I love live.
It's like you're on stage. If you say something wrong, you can't stop the audience and say, can you just back that? It's kind of like being in a courtroom.
Yeah.
I love it when the judge says, can the jury disregard that comment?
No.
The jury is never, in my opinion, never going to disregard a comment if they've heard it in the courtroom. Just like here, we can't say, can you guys just forget what I just said or just rewind 5 minutes, or can you fast forward through? Like, it doesn't work like that when you're live. So it's an interesting transition in the internet world, but when you're live, you can't take it. And yes, you can say don't publish. So the only people that would have seen it are people who are live with us. However, we teach kids things last on the internet forever, right? So make sure you're putting out, stuff that you're okay with. But when you're making mistakes, it just shows that you can roll with it.
Yeah.
Like if you show up to a presentation and there's 500 people in the room and your internet goes down, or the technology doesn't work because you don't have the right attachment to attach your computer to the system, which means you can't show your presentation. Things happen that are out of your control, and that's okay.
As long as you're confident with what you talk about, then you don't have to ever worry about stuff like that. So if you're worried about pushing that button, then for a live, then don't go live. Like if you're trying to rehearse what you need to say, or you're writing notes, don't go live. Right? Like that's the whole thing. And then, but on the other hand, I encourage people to go live, because going live really gets you better and better and better at what you have to say and the advice you want to tell people and things you want to share. So the best way you can do it is go live, because it doesn't limit you.
Yeah.
And you don't have time to go, oh, should I move this logo to the left corner?
You're live. It doesn't matter. And I think the viewers like that. So I mean, social media channels, again, like Facebook, LinkedIn, like they all push live further up in their feed, because that's what they want. They want the realness of people. They want to see when you're making a mistake or whatever the case may be.
This video should be on the top of the list.
Awesome. How to fix all of that stuff and how to roll with it when things don't necessarily go as planned.
Yeah.
So
it's
all good. We're rolling with it today.
That's right. So we're going to be going to the farm and getting the key and taking you through that whole adventure over the next couple of weeks. So again, stick with us and we'll show you all the mistakes we make there. And
I hope there's no construction mistakes.
I hope, if we have to do some, there probably will be.
Yeah, that's why we have an expert that will definitely give us very clear direction.
They will,
and not leave us.
Do a lot of it. So just so you guys know out there. But I think what's important is, if you want to follow us, we're gonna stream things on YouTube and on Instagram and here, wherever we are. But here's the interesting thing that you guys should keep in mind, and why to follow the adventure, is because we want you to understand that you want to show what is real life and what you're doing as you go. There is nothing rehearsed in what we're doing. There is no plan. There is no big end goal in terms of why we're sharing the information with you, other than the fact is that you can watch and say, you know what, I can do that too. Yeah. I might have something in my life that people would want to watch as we go along and be able to share as well. So it's a really an interesting time. 10 years ago, even 2 years ago, I would have never, ever thought about sharing that. I would have just showed you the before and the after. But I think, now it's way more fun to show you the in between. And it's not like a slick HGTV produced,
But even if you look at HGTV or whatever home improvement show or channel that you're watching, they do show the journey. Even if it's a short snippet of it, they don't just show, the before and the after. They show the problems in between. They show the journey. And I think that's what I love about how internet is going, is that we want to see the story. We want to see the journey. We don't just want to see, here's a click picture and then a click, the perfect ending. Yeah. Right. And you can kind of make up what's in the middle, where we're not going to make anything up. No. It's going to
We're going to show you when we install Starlink. Can you tell I'm so excited? when it came out and I got to push the button to like put me in line,
You weren't afraid to push that button?
I was like, click, click, click. I want lots of Starlinks. So it was really exciting, but I think it's again another reason to say, okay, you can find out if it really is cool and works better and gives us way more. We will be the first people jumping up and down saying, this is awesome, you should go buy it if it's the thing to do. And there is no affiliate link for Starlink, so we're not going to make any money on it.
And we're not selling any construction services and you do not want to hire us. Guaranteed, especially when you see this journey. But I'm excited to go through the journey. Yeah. So
I need some cool, like boots, work boots, and
we're getting wellies.
Yeah, but it's hard to buy anything because we're still in lockdown.
Yeah.
But I want to, shouldn't we look cute?
Yeah, I'd like maybe
a little belt.
I feel like I need a construction belt.
I think so too. So watch for that.
Yes. Sorry, what you guys don't see, this is the interesting thing again about live video and all of that kind of stuff, is that you see this fireplace, but what you don't see is all around. And sorry, I got distracted because my 16-year-old just walked upstairs looking very tired. So I started laughing at him and completely lost my train of thought.
That's what happens when you stay up gaming.
Exactly. All right. Well, she has to go get keys to the farm.
And we have to set up for tonight.
Yes. So tonight we're learning all about wine.
Yeah, it's the first.
So I'm very excited.
First event of the wine club. You guys can show up for free. All you have to do is go to mastermindcitycommunity.com, sign up as a free member, and with a 14-day premium trial, and you can come and join us tonight. It's going to be really fun. We're going to give you, once you log in, you'll have a suggested wine list, but don't worry. Just bring whatever red or white you have, and you'll learn all about how to taste it, what to look for, and a lot of cool stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That's tonight. We'll be on the same internet, so who knows?
Yes, who knows what'll happen? I have to give I'm like somebody a co-host that's on solid internet.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.